We'll walk round compound, see some tigers. Walk round the compound. Hey, Wawa. Hi, bud. Wawa. Okay. I'm sorry. Yeah, still a little bit moody. Still a little bit moody. Had to sedate him last night. What? Yeah. Had to sedate Mr. Wally last night to draw some blood, get some urine, and he's still pretty drugged up right now. So he's sequestered away from Noel. And some of you have been noticing that he's been acting a little bit differently, and of course we've been noticing that too. We've been doing a lot of different things, hand feeding him every day. He hasn't been eating as well. He still eats, but he just hasn't been eating as well as he could, and he's just been kind of lethargic, and we're kind of wondering if there could be some sort of bacterial kind of thing going on with him, or maybe a vitamin thing with him, but he's in some slightly rough shape. So there's a couple of different things, and we had to take those samples and we sent them off to the lab for testing, and hopefully we'll be able to find some answers relatively soon. But Dr. Bill came last night, was able to sedate him. And anytime that you sedate a cat, I mean, even if it's just for like a simple procedure, like a blood draw, it could be a very dangerous and precarious situation. Because if you're also talking about a cat that, you know, might be a little bit ill or compromised, a little bit weaker, sedation can be very risky. Lions and tigers, you know, you have to be able to sedate them to where they're not going to be dangerous to people, but you run the risk of getting them to go too deep and then they don't wake back up. And Dr. Bill has perfected the art of sedating cats over the last 20 years. So he definitely is very, very good at getting them deep enough and being able to react to, you know, unforeseen circumstances that take place, and then keep everyone safe. So, yeah. But right now, you know, we just wanted to we wanted to see if maybe his blood work and his urine. So, like right now, I mean, he still gets up and goes around, but he's still kind of drugged up. Oh, hello. Oh, hello. You look like you look just like the vulture on like this, when Snoopy would pretend to be a vulture and sit on top of his doghouse, and he would do like the kind of thing. Look at you. I am behind this dead twig. You cannot see me. I am a master of camouflage and deception. Ah! Oh. Hello all you big cat lovers out there. It's me, Derek. Welcome to another super duper fantastic walk around the compound webcast. Okay, so going back with Wally. Yeah, sick. Just a little bit sick. A little bit under the weather. And we kind of been wondering, you know, hey, what's up with that? This summer has been unseasonably moist. We've been having a lot of moisture. It's been a lot more humid this summer than it has been in previous summers. So, there could be something to do with that. And then we have like Bobby and Max here. Not Bobby, I mean Max and Mia. Yeah, Max and Mia, like they were having some weird things with eating. They're better now. They're doing better now. And of course, there was all this stuff with Clyde, which, we also did get results back from him. They're still crunching some of the samples, and but there's more signs and levels that were pointing towards kidney failure and kidney malfunction with Clyde. But, you know, we have this unseasonably humid summer, which it's not been like terribly hot, but our heat indexes have gone up So you have to wonder, like, are these contributing factors? Like, is there something in the air? Who knows? Are the cats getting Zika? Ooh. But it definitely makes you scratch your head. And correlation does not necessarily mean causation. Just because you have multiple cats that are experiencing, peculiar issues, like kind of in unison with each other, doesn't necessarily mean that they're all experiencing the same thing. Sometimes you just have cats, that. And like I think, because Wally is like, he's a lot more like lethargic, and so he seems like he may actually have some sort of, kind of oogity woogity kind of bug inside of him. Clyde like remained just chipper and happy. I think that his organs were just giving up on him, but he was just like, yeah, I'm Clyde, doing my thing. So that's my opinion. But of course, you have to kind of run down every lead. You have to try to figure out, get to the bottom of stuff. People have been asking about Bonnie. Bonnie's doing okay. She was, she was confused at first, but she's okay. She's okay. Yeah, but big thanks to Bill coming out last night. He was on call, and I mean, it was late at night. It was like 9 o'clock, because he was out, like, he was the on-call vet for the clinic, and yeah, he works a lot. That old Dr. Bill does, and he called him up, and he's like, all right, I can be out there in a little bit. I gotta drive 20 miles away from Bridgeport to look at this cow in the middle of this rancher's field, but I can be out there. Papa! 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 Say hi to the people! Papa, to the people! Papa, just look this way. Hey! Polly! Really? Really? Oh, you jerk. Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Take laziness to an entirely new level. I gotta go down the aisle to see Solano. See, we're actually the grass is starting to get slightly brown. Oh my gosh, things are actually starting to get brown, which is because usually by like mid-July, in this region, hi Shadow, things are just magnificently crunchy and brown. And as I've remarked before, things have been just tremendously green and full of moos. So full of moos. Moos keep the grass green. Hi, bud. You're such a good boy. You are such a good derp. Yeah. Oh my gosh. You make everyone so happy. You make everyone so happy. Alright. Focus. What? How you doing? Polly? What happened? Did you see this? Those poltergeists. There's poltergeists. Poltergeists were moving the balls around in my enclosure. I tell you. Hey. Oh, stretch. Oh, big sleepy stretch. Big sleepy stretchy boy. Old man. Old man. Oh my gosh. He's a good boy. Oh. This is one of those rare webcasts where I'm actually I'm gonna film it on the same day that I'm uploading it. So it's the Thursday webcast. It is Thursday. Huh. Look at the beats. Look at the beats. Oh, yeah, Cassie. Thing. Inside of her enclosure. Oh, wizard. You know that cartoon, it only raised about $1,300. I crunched all the numbers. Now, that is another thing. I wonder, because there were a few donations, and I'm not sure if they were for the Wizard Squeak campaign or not. There were some because I had put incentivizing perks for like $25 and $50 donations. And there were a couple of miscellaneous, not like, because we also have like sponsorship program stuff for like $25 and $50 recurring payments, you know, per month, or recurring donations. So you discount those, and then, but it's like you have to go through the PayPal statements and everything. And there were a few where it's like, is this part of it? But it's hard to tell because they didn't put Wizard Squeak in the old, what's the word I'm looking for? Description. So I'm limited by my numbers. But yeah, I was trying to put the original goal at about $5,000. Only got $1,300. So that's a little bit. That's a bit disappointing. But I was trying. You know, it's trying something new. So it's just. It is what it is. Sometimes I think a lot of people are just kind of losing interest. Hi, baby. Hi, sugar pie. Hey, baby. Yeah, you're a good girl. You're a good girl. And yeah, I don't. I think that there's a few different things. I guess you know, you have those moments where I guess where you kind of take stock or take inventory of, you know, the things that you got. And I know that there's times where I feel like you lose your mojo a little bit. I know that I haven't been maybe posting things as much as I used to. It's like there's a couple different things that kind of come into play, where it feels like, you know, you get into this kind of stagnating, this rut of stagnation. And of course, part of it is just the geographic consideration. I've been, you know, working out of state for a year now. And of course, it's definitely, you know, correlating to that. But there's times where, you know, like, I don't feel as hungry as I used to be, as far as some of the social media stuff is concerned. You know, when you first start out, like, getting 1,000 likes on a post, oh my gosh, it was so exciting. But now, that's just status quo. It kind of, it affects your expectations. What you expect, and then also what people expect of you. And I know that, you know, there were times where I would, and like, this is the other thing, it's like you have to try to find balance, because I know there were times where I would be out here in the compound just messing around for hours. When the social media stuff first started really kind of going up, I would be out here for hours. But that didn't really lend itself to like a good, like stable, like home life. There were issues. I'm gotta definitely, admit that it hasn't always been easy. That it affected, my relationship with Heidi in those early times, because I became so focused with trying to get those numbers up. I became so glued to my phone. So yeah, it took time away from her. I like to think I'm not, so I take a lot more inventory. No, don't get me wrong, I still focus. I still get on there and do different things. I guess I don't ever want to get this idea or this sense that I'm just dialing it in, that I'm just, all right, well, I got to make a post today because it's something that is expected and I got to do it. And of course, people are like, you do what you want to do, Derek. It's okay. You don't feel like you have to do anything for anyone. You just be you. That's a charming sentiment. But Akari's inside of the thing, and I can't get a good angle on her. But you also have to realize that, the lifeblood of this facility is directly associated, directly correlated with a lot of the things that we do on social media. Like, CARE is in a great location to act as a refuge, to act as a sanctuary for these animals. It's relatively quiet, it's out in the country, but we are off the beaten path. We are not by like main thoroughfares or main roadways. There are some other facilities who are closer to population centers, and they get, just by that location principle, they get, some pretty good funding. It's easier for them to stumble upon money than it is for us. So we've got to hustle. We got to hustle online because our thoroughfares are on the highways of the internet. So there's pressure to try to continue to put out content, to keep things alive and to keep things relevant. And that's the other thing. It's like sometimes I wonder, it's like, oh my gosh, maybe I'm just like exhausting my ideas, or maybe I'm not coming up with like original things like I could or should be, because I'm not giving myself enough of a breather. But it's like, how much rest do you need? And maybe it's just like, maybe it's a case of like, you think like you have writer's block or something like that. Or maybe you're just getting inside of your head too much. Maybe it's not a matter of being tired, but it's just a matter of sorry, the phone rang. Maybe it's not so much of it's like a kind of, I don't know, like a mental kind of block as far as trying to do well and trying to make good content and trying to be creative, but it's like you only got so much. I'm BigCatDerek, and this is the arena that I work in. It's rather niche, and trying to find the time to balance between family and then also between work. Which, look, I have a job that is very, very, very demanding. Someday I'll talk about it a lot more. Right now, it's not convenient, but there's a lot of different elements that come into the whole thing, and then the whole idea, like, well, maybe I can try to focus on this and try to focus on these things, try to make something happen, to try to gain traction for whatever different chapter of my life that I'm going to try to, attempt. Yeah, sure. Why not? Here's Savannah. Here's Banana. It's actually not that hot out today, right now. It's just that perfect time of the day where just everyone's sleepy. Sorry, I wasn't even looking at my phone. I guess, and it's also, it's like, you know, sometimes, because people's attention, it comes and it goes, and you sometimes worry, like, I guess maybe, like, it's not as interesting or new anymore for people, and you start to see things kind of going away, and then that kind of gets into your head a little bit too. You start to sit there and think like, oh, we're not getting as much engagement anymore, things are drying up. And then also I think that people are, you know, yeah, look, we got this old age home for big cats, and a lot of them are passing away. Like, we got empty enclosure and empty enclosure. We're in the process. Look, we're always sending out feelers, and we talk to different individuals. I'm not going to say that being able to rescue cats or rescue more cats or add more life to the facility is not going to be happening in the relatively near future. But it's like, you know, there's, whoa, sheesh. It's like, I don't want to share my space. So it's like, you know, once that happens, it's like, oh, you kickstart some life, and then you kickstart the engagement, and then the interest again, and then more people start looking, and then more people start, you know, like, oh, hey, there's that place, and then they start donating, and oh, I don't know, and just stuff that I've been kind of thinking about lately. I think it's just like, you know, but then I also look at like the different things that I have been able to accomplish. Like, look, I made that cartoon. That was a creative thing. That was fun. It was really good. I was able to spearhead the PrideStrong week long. I was not able to do something like that. Didn't have the support from people like in the first couple of years of doing this. So I think it's like your expectations, and like, again, what you expect of yourself and what you expect from your content, what you think other people are going to expect from you, what you're willing to put out there, or the quality that you've come to expect is different. I mean, as time goes on, that stuff, it's different. BBs. Look at those handsome boys. Look at those handsome boys. But yeah. We don't have any more little ones. We don't got any more little ones. And you can't ever deny the fact that the vast majority of my followers, I mean the huge number, came from these guys and then those guys. And that's it. And we stopped. We didn't have any more of those, and then, you know, like, oh, well, people are like, well, we kind of like cubs, and if you don't really have those, then we're not going to really pay attention as much, and we'll come back when you do. And it's just, and so it's like, you understand, like, that's like the catch-22. That's why people make money off of these animals. Because they don't, people, like a lot of, and this is, I know, because most of the people, because I'm preaching to the converted right here, I'm not talking specifically to you, but there's a lot of people out there, they don't care about adult cats. They don't care about adult tigers and lions. They love animals, yes, and they do care about the plight of big cats, but really, they just care about cubs. Like, they will spend their money, and they will give their attention to cubs. At adults, not so high on the interest factor. So there's a lot of different things that kind of come into play. You know, you sit there and think like, oh boy. That's why a lot of people that get into like these, you know, you get like breeders, or you get people that go around on some of these traveling shows, and they don't do it responsibly. Look, there are some people who they do, and I'm going to say something that's a little bit controversial within like the rescue and sanctuary community, but there are some people who have been able to operate under those kind of things and do it through a relatively responsible manner. They're not just like, you know, haphazardly, you know, breeding and generating and making unwanted disposable babies. Hi. Hi, bud. Hey. Yeah. Hi, mister. But there's a lot that do. There's a lot that do, and then a lot of these animals, because again, it's just like there's that need, like you got to keep on cranking out the cubs. You got to crank them out, because they realize like people only care about cubs. They just want to see them. And there's a lot of people on social media who understand that concept very, very well. If we just have cubs, we're gonna get all the likes in the world. And then eventually those likes are going to translate to monetary stability for the organization. So that's why you're seeing like a lot of different things. Like we're trying to pump up some of our efforts. Like, hey, we got this fundraiser, we got this thing kind of going on. I mean, because we're at that time of the year where we need to ask people to help to support the facility. And then it just, and then you start kind of getting in it. Gets into your head like, are the messages right? Am I doing the content right? Do people even care anymore? Most of the people that and here's the thing: the people that regularly watch the webcast. Again, I'm not really talking to you folks so much, but there's a lot of folks out there that you want to try to cast as wide of a net as possible. And you want to keep on putting stuff out there. You want to keep on making content. Even if you think that it's like, this isn't even really that good. It's not even that good. It's like, again, it's like, sometimes you feel like, lost the mojo. You lost it. Where'd it go? Maybe it's like if you just kind of keep on, you prime the engine and then you just let it sit and idle for a little bit and then it'll stop knocking and pinging. Like, that's a concept too. Like, maybe you just need to take a break. But then again, if you take too long of a break, like, what happens if you lose, like, any shred of relevancy that you had? It's easy to just get so just kind of bogged down with some of these ideas. And don't get me wrong, I'm not like, this is such a struggle that I'm having and I don't know what to do with myself. This is not like a weird, oh my gosh, I need everyone to feel so sorry. No, it's not that. It's just, I thought it was an interesting concept. Oh, I think one of the cats snuffled some snot onto, how does that look? Okay, that's good. I think someone snuffled a burgie on the lens. Yeah, this is not like my struggle is so like, just, please just feel so much sympathy. No, I just thought it was just an interesting conversation topic, something to put into the webcast, where you find yourself at many of these different crossroads as far as what it is that you're wanting to do as a content creator, the pressures that you feel being in this unique environment and relying so heavily on content almost as a commodity. It's like, it's the reason that people look at this place and then want to support it and donate to it. And then like the strictures of time, because I'm only here at the compound 2 or 3 days out of the week, and so much of the time that I get back here is just spent convalescing and spending time with family, and then trying to film and or trying to do a little bit of work here and there. So yeah, and then worrying, like, are people just tired of it? Are they starting to look at other things? Has my time come and gone? Like, and that's fine. It's like also, people's attention, it's gonna wax and it's gonna wane. There's gonna be times where, like, and I've experienced this before, where the the overall number of engagement, it seems to kind of go up, and then it'll go back down, and then it'll go up. So it's like a constantly fluctuating thing. So, yeah. There's all sorts of different little elements that kind of come into that whole thing. Just different things that you think about. You just need to take a break, Derek. You think? No, that's, again, not listening. Not listening. It's not the point I'm trying to make. It's not the point I'm trying to make. Yeah. And there's times where it's just like I want to, yeah. I guess the mental exhaustion is a big part of it. You know, the focus of the job and then the facility and everything. And then you sit down and you try to write something, and then you're just there. Just kind of, you get a couple sentences down, and then you just want to, you know, like, all right, this just a couple hours go by. Yeah, everyone's got their thing that they gotta deal with. Everyone has their crosses to bear. Their mental limits, their creative limits. And yeah, it's just again, I think it's just a passing kind of thing. I don't think it's gonna. I don't think the Mojo ever is gone. I just, you know, I'm just going through just a strange time, I guess. But it's all good. It's all good. I still feel confident. I'll find my groove again. How Derek got his groove back. All right. This was really rambly. I don't even know if I made a lot of sense in this one, but anyway, thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I'll talk to you folks later. All right. Bye-bye.